Hey everybody, Brickhouse here with another video. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. More Bud Light news. Seems that Bud Light is trying to escape the Mulvaney mess, but they're having a little problem doing it. Anheuser-Busch executive faced the Bud Light music Thursday morning during their first earnings call of the year, and thanks to the calendar, everything was peachy. Despite a disastrous few weeks in the wake of the Dillon Mulvaney partnership, which they swear isn't a partnership, we all know it's a partnership. Anheuser-Busch is largely in the green for the first quarter of 2023. Of course, that first quarter ended March 31st. Bud Light didn't foolishly decided to put Dillon Mulvaney on a can until the end of the first quarter on, of all days, April Fool's Day. So no, that move had literally zero impact on the most recent earnings report. We won't find out the true scale of this month-long Bud Light boycott until August when quarter two numbers come out. My, won't that be interesting? Because of that, time is on Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch's side. A humiliating April doesn't guarantee a bad May and June. So yes, you heard a lot of "we can weather the storm" or "it's too early to tell," and globally we're fine during Thursday's call. You also heard a lot of this. This was a result of one can. It was not made for production or for sale to the general public. It was one post, not a formal campaign or advertisement. So yeah, even though they partnered with a social media influencer who just happens to be a transgender. No, I say transgender, not transgender, transgender. And a very divisive individual. They're just trying to push it under the rug now. Nothing to see here. Move along, people. Move along. Nothing to see here. And if that sounds like someone desperately trying to distance himself and the company from something without actually apologizing, you betcha. As Bud Light sales tank across the United States, they're down between 20 and 30% over the last two weeks in bars, restaurants, and retailers across the country. It was evident during Thursday's call that Nucaris wanted nothing more than to just simply say, yeah, we screwed up, we're sorry. Well, not only is sales down, but they're also giving away free cases of beer to wholesalers and families of those wholesalers. Frankly, that would probably fix all this. We're nothing if not forgiving, you know. It's sort of the whole selling point of the coming to America thing. If that's not the sort of apology you want, though, you may as well take your ball and go home. It's not happening. Not in that way, at least. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light are backed into a corner right now. You can hear it on the call, and you can see it through their recent actions. You can fire people all you want, and they have. Well, they haven't technically announced the firing of the individuals responsible for the partnership, but they're on a leave of absence right now. But they can't say they screwed up. You can certainly allude to it by promising us this wasn't an actual marketing campaign, but you can't say outright that we've got nothing to do with Mr. Mulvaney. It would be so easy to do, but it's not a viable option, not in this climate. No, because if they were to do that, then they would just get bombarded from the woke trans social media mafia is what would happen. And it would also impact their ESG score. Because then you've pissed off the left. And if you think we're being intolerant right now, Just wait until you've angered the mob, the social media mob, the transgender mob, the woke mob on the left. Remember, they're the same ones who somehow managed to cancel Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. And that's true. They have. They did. Still trying to figure out how they did it, but they did. By the way, in case you haven't been paying attention, it's already happening. Just last week, the LGBTQ plus advocacy group, the Human Rights Campaign, called on Anheuser-Busch to express more explicit support for Dylan and the trans community. You need to step up your game, Anheuser-Busch. You need to support him. You need more support for our community. And that's before anyone at Bud Light or AB dared apologize for the current mess. Could you imagine if they did apologize? It wouldn't be enough. Instead, you get little subtle hints, sort of like when you're being held hostage and have to blink twice. As to Bud Light, we have significantly increased our investments behind the brand in the US. They've tripled their media span for the upcoming summer, while also reallocating 3 senior marketers to oversee Bud Light. 3. While beer should always be at the table when important topics are debated, the beer itself should not be the focus of the debate. Well, he's right there. Ducaris, to his credit, didn't paint an entirely rosy picture Thursday. He did admit sales over the past month have plummeted and made sure to point out the beer brand's shiny new commercial that debuted during last week's NFL draft. Oh, that commercial that got ratioed to death and you turned the comments off on YouTube? And I like this quote here. I would have used the phrase pandering BS, but I'm also not the CEO of a major company. Yeah, I was pandering. Just like the Clydesdale commercial that was released a couple weeks ago for Budweiser. How it got ratioed to death on YouTube. Instead, Ducaris simply lauded the new countrified, in my words, not his, ad and the beer's presence at the draft. It's a shame that the Zac Brown band doesn't have better control over their songs. Because if I was them, I would have denied use of that song in that ad. Because I'm sure they'll probably get a little backlash for it too. And I like that song. I love that song, Chicken Fried. I think it's great. He also admitted that Bud Light and beer in general should basically stick to what it knows best, sports and concerts. That is exactly 100% correct. That I reckon we can all agree on. Unfortunately, while it's not an outright apology, it's probably the closest we'll get. Moving forward, one challenge is what you call misinformation and confusion that still exists. Ducaris added, we'll need to continue to clarify the facts that this was one can, one influencer, one post, and not a campaign. And we need to repeat that message for some time. Should be a fun summer. That goes with this article here. Anheuser-Busch disavows entire Dylan Mulvaney campaign in letter to retailers and now blames outside ad agency for approving it without management awareness. Well, if that's the case, then why did they fire their own marketing VP? Well, she took a leave of absence. So yeah, here we are. Budweiser saying, no, it's not our fault. We didn't do this internally. It was an outside third party that did this. Nothing to see here. Move along. Time to get past this. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what happens come Q2 when the Q2 numbers are released, and just how much the boycott has affected Anheuser-Busch's revenues. So comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you think Budweiser's still messing up this situation? I'd be interested to see what y'all have to say. So please smash that like button. That helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe, share this video. Hit the notification bell to get notified when my content is uploaded on a daily basis. And I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for watching. And we will see you folks later.